I know you're excited to be on the team, Iceman, but we really need you to lay off all the cold jokes. Oh, I see. You need me to chill out? Ugh. This is why Firestar likes me better. Oh, that's cold-hearted, Spidey. That's it. I'm out of here. Oh, I didn't mean to make you mad. You should probably just go cool off. Hey, and welcome to the 23rd episode of Creed's Modern Mondays. My name's Creed, and today we're taking a look at Iceman. Iceman was released as part of the 80th anniversary of Marvel, and he's on this beautiful retro card. And as we all know, he is a member of the Uncanny X-Men. This figure was released in 2019, which of course was the 80th anniversary of Marvel, and it kicked off the retro packaging that has been such a big deal nowadays. Of course, in the box, you get Iceman himself along with this accessory that is kind of like an ice slide, only not really. The art is excellent, with Iceman throwing his signature ice slide under his feet. And this card art is actually inspired by a figure from the 90s, and I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. Here on the back of the box, you can see a little bit of artwork of Iceman, which isn't very good. They probably should have picked a better picture than that. Here's a closer look at it, and right below it is a little blurb about Iceman, and it's also listed in several other languages. Here on the other side of the card, you can see several other figures that were released in this wave, and now I'm going to show you the figure that inspired the card art. So here he is, the 1993 X-Men Iceman figure, which I actually already opened, as you can see. I opened him up this past Christmas for an episode of Creed's Collection. So if you want to check him out, take a look at that episode. But I think it's pretty clear that this one's card art came from this figure. But we're wasting time, so let's go ahead and cut this guy open and get a look at him. I'm using my typical cut it around the three edges so it opens like a book. That way you can put it back in and it usually looks pretty clean. And there he is, Iceman. Let's go ahead and get him off the tray. So this is going to be one of the first Modern Mondays where I am not blown away. While I definitely think this is a very cool figure, it's a great sculpt and extremely posable, it doesn't scream Iceman to me the way I want it to. And I think that's because I want it to be like the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends Iceman, but it's more the X-Men Iceman. As we get a closer look at him, you can see that his face sculpt is actually pretty good, but my big problem is his ears. Why are they so pronounced like this? In most versions, the cartoon, the comic, they're quite streamlined, so it's strange to me they stick out like that. And while I do like the white eyes, I do wish they were actually green like the old Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon. His finish isn't actually this silver. It just looks silver on camera. It's actually a translucent kind of a white color. But on camera, you could take this belt off of him and he would basically be the Silver Surfer at that point. The sculpt of his physique is actually quite nice. His muscle tone is excellent. The arms and everything look really good. But I have to say, I absolutely hate this belt so much. He never had a belt in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, but he does typically wear one when he's with the X-Men. I've considered heating the belt up and removing it, but we'll see. I haven't decided yet. As we come down into the legs, you can see that the physique is still excellent, but there's not a lot of detail to the figure since he's basically supposed to be encased in ice. The body's actually pretty similar to the retro Spider-Man they released in 2020, with a lot of the same articulation. And now we're going to go into my biggest complaint with this figure. Why does he only come with fists? He should have open hands for shooting ice. They didn't give Spider-Man web-crawling hands either. I don't understand it. It's like giving these figures the open hands is so difficult for Hasbro. But with all those negatives aside, I do still like this figure quite a bit, believe it or not. And I think I'm just going to keep him as my X-Men display Iceman and hope that Hasbro eventually brings out a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends Iceman. Now we're going to take a look at Iceman's articulation, starting with his ankle, which has the ankle rocker you'd expect from most modern figures. It can also go up and down as well. He has a boot swivel right there at the calf, which looks kind of weird if you see it at the wrong angle, but it's still there. Here at the knee, he's got the double jointed knee for, that's right, it's back, super butt kicking action. It's been a while. Here at the thigh, he has a swivel as well, and then a ball joint at the hip, and I don't think it has a drop down. At least I can't tell. I don't think so. Here under the belt, there appears to be a swivel, and yes, there is, waist swivel. Of course, at the ab here, he has ab crunch action, forward and back. The shoulders have butterfly joints, so they can swivel forward and back like so, as well as the ability to swivel and rotate right there at the shoulder. He also has a swivel at the bicep, a double jointed elbow, so he can look like the thinker. He also at the wrist has a swivel, and it can flex down and up. And last but not least, at the neck, he does have a ball joint, so he can look all different directions, like up and down and just all over the place. And that covers all 31 points of articulation for Iceman. At least I counted 31. How many did you count? Iceman's only included accessory is this, I guess, ice slide. There is a peg there so you can pop his foot into it. And I have to say that I do like this. It's not very big, but it looks really good. The color scheme on it and the paint is well applied. So it has this kind of an iridescent bluish look to it, which is good. Honestly, if you were going to ask me if I wanted this or ice throwing hands, I would choose the ice throwing hands over this. But as accessories go, I have definitely seen worse. Here it is pegged into his foot. And as you can see, it looks cool, but even more now I want an ice throwing hand right here, so it looks like he's shooting it down in front of his feet. I suppose you could say he put his foot down and shot the ice from his foot, and that's cool too, but I still want ice throwing hands, and I'm not going to stop talking about it. Alright, it's size comparison time. So here is Iceman next to a Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper. And here he is next to a slightly smaller scale Batman and Robin from the classic TV series by McFarlane Toys. And of course, we couldn't do this without the obligatory Spider-Man and his amazing friends group shot. I have to say that even though he does look good here, can you imagine if Hasbro would give us an accurate Spider-Man and his amazing friends Iceman? That would be so awesome, and I've decided I'm going to start bothering Hasbro about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's Modern Monday on the retro carded Iceman from the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary line by Hasbro. So, is this the definitive Marvel Legends Iceman? I'm going to say that it is. I can imagine some people would argue the Age of Apocalypse Iceman that just came out like, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago. I didn't really like that one though. I'm not a big fan of the big spiky Iceman. I like a real smooth Iceman. Although there is an Iceman from, I want to say like 2005 or 7, somewhere in there that Toy Biz did. That one's pretty good. But ultimately, I just want Hasbro to make a Spider-Man and his amazing friends Iceman. I don't think you have any idea how happy that would make me. Or maybe you would, since I didn't shut up about it this entire video. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I'm glad to be back making Modern Mondays again after such a long time off. I'm hoping that you're going to have several in a row coming up. And if you did enjoy the video, you know the drill. Please leave me a thumbs up and a comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It's free, and I hope to see you later this week.